Leviathan is a B&M Giga coaster located at Canada's Wonderland in Vaughan, Ontario, Canada. It opened in 2012 and was the first of three Bolliger and Mabillard Giga coasters, with the other two being Fury 325 at Carowinds and Orion at Kings Island. It stands 306 feet or 93.3 meters tall, has nearly 5,500 feet or 1,672 meters of track, and reaches a top speed of 92 miles per hour or 148 kilometers per hour. It is the fastest, tallest, and longest roller coaster in Canada. This is our full-length, in-depth review of Leviathan and our comments about what you can expect when you go to Canada's Wonderland to ride this coaster. Now, let's journey into the depths to meet the Leviathan. Leviathan is located in the medieval fair section of Canada's Wonderland, and it dominates the park's skyline. It is also the first roller coaster you will encounter when you first arrive at the park. In fact, the ride's turnaround flies over the entrance paths to the park. The visual of Leviathan's trains flying over and around you is awesome and a great way to get you excited for your day at the park. Once you enter the park, you take a right from International Street into the medieval fair section of the park. You will actually walk underneath a large castle-themed arch and make your way past the park's Arrow Looper, Dragonfire, and towards Leviathan's entrance plaza. As you approach the ride, you will see a large marquee displaying the ride's name and Leviathan logo. This marquee looks great and has an effect similar to the one that Fury 325's ride sign has. Leviathan's marquee also has a really cool fountain effect. That fountain effect, along with the mist effect coming from the Leviathan's nostrils, make this marquee one of the best in the Cedar Fair chain. It also looks awesome at night. You enter the queue underneath parts of the ride's first turn out of the station and walk through the teal-colored switchbacks. You eventually wind your way around and up some stairs into the station. Once you reach the station, you will see some light theming in one of Leviathan's 3 8-row 32-passenger trains. These trains are the same trains you can find on Fury 325 and Orion, the other B&M Gigas. And these trains look nice, as the lead car has the Leviathan's eyes and a nice teal color scheme. You will also find the seatbelt clamshell restraint combination typical of Cedar Fair, Bolliger and Mabillard Hypers, and Gigas. Once you have boarded your train, fastened your seatbelt, secured your clamshell restraint, and cleared dispatch, you take a right-hand turn out of the station to begin your ride. As you turn out of the station, you proceed along a portion of straight track towards the ride's 306-foot or 93.3 meter tall lift hill. As you climb this lift hill, you get amazing views of the rest of the park and the Toronto skyline in the distance. As you reach the top of the lift hill, you start plummeting down Leviathan's 306-foot or 93.3 meter first drop sloped at 80 degrees. Like the first drops on Fury 325 and Orion, this first drop feels like you are falling forever. It also gives great sustained floater airtime all the way down for all riders, though you get a little better airtime towards the back. At the bottom of the first drop, you fly through an above-ground tunnel, which has the Leviathan's eyes on the entrance to the tunnel. You then pull up into an elevated overbanked right-hand turn, followed by a speed hill, which delivers a great pop of ejector airtime. As you crest that speed hill, you take a slight banked left-hand turn and climb into a larger floater airtime hill. If you are sitting towards the front of the train, you will feel the airtime throughout the duration of the airtime hill. If you are sitting towards the back of the train, you get some great floater airtime at the top and coming off of it. As you come off that airtime hill, you pass underneath some of the ride's track and climb up into a massive leftward banked turnaround, which pulls some good forces right before diving back downwards. You then fly into a right-hand banked turn, followed by another large floater airtime hill, which delivers very similar airtime across the train as that first airtime hill. After that airtime hill, you climb into an overbanked left-hand turn, followed by a climb up into Leviathan's incredibly tall final brake run, thus completing your ride. As the first B&M Giga coaster, Leviathan does a lot well. It has an amazing first drop, an awesome ejector speed hill, and some great floater airtime hills. It is also fast, with a top speed of 92 miles per hour or 148 kilometers per hour. But that speed does not translate as well to some of the bank turns on the ride. While you will get a slight pop of floater airtime in the front rows, you get none of that in the back rows. That banked turn after the turnaround is definitely much better towards the front of the train, but the rest of the ride is much better towards the back of the train. That ejector speed hill is awesome and might just be the highlight moment of the ride, after the first drop, of course. You also get amazing sustained floater airtime over those two large airtime hills, much like the airtime you get on Bolliger and Mabillard hyper coasters like Thunderstriker at Carowinds or Candemonium at Hershey Park. You also get a nice pop of airtime as you climb onto the final brake run. Those airtime moments do feel like Leviathan is having a little bit of an identity crisis, though. Leviathan feels like a taller, faster version of the roller coaster across the park in Behemoth. That said, there are enough differences between Leviathan and Behemoth to make Leviathan its own ride experience. Leviathan is a great ride, and that is why it draws some insanely large crowds. It routinely has at least a 30-minute wait. As the crowds increase throughout the day, the queue is always packed, making 3-train operations necessary. And Leviathan's operations are great. The crew is constantly rolling trains, which helps keep the lines moving. While Leviathan stacks occasionally, the crew does a great job in avoiding double stacking on the final brake run. And as for theming, you will not see much, but the station building is cool. Leviathan also has a pretty nice night ride, especially on a clearer night. That teal track and those blue supports look awesome against the Ontario night sky. You also get a much better sense of Leviathan's speed at night. Overall, Leviathan is amazing. The first drop, that ejector speed hill, and the floater airtime hills are awesome and offer different airtime sensations. It also looks amazing as you enter the park, making it a great front entrance roller coaster. It really hypes you up for the day. For our final score, we give Leviathan a 9 out of 10. As the first Bolliger and Mabillard Giga coaster, Leviathan definitely showcases so many of the elements that make B&M Gigas incredible crowd pleasers. Canada's Wonderland definitely would not be the same without it. So, let us know in the comments below if you have ridden Leviathan at Canada's Wonderland, and if so, what you think about it. And if you enjoyed this video or are new to the channel, please like and subscribe for more coaster content like this. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more coaster reviews and amusement park content from Coaster Adventures, and we hope to see you in the next one.